to me?
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Bring Me the Blue Pages.
We really should have tested the sound, dude.
What's wrong with the sound?
Well, I don't know if it's recording sound properly.
Hello and welcome back. Wait, no,
Is it still paused?
no. A mistake, it's still running.
Okay. Yes, bring
So-
me the blue pages.
Wait, do I have an inventory? Oh, there's another book. Oh, red page. I see.
Live. Bring me a red page. I can't see. I need a red page, you must. Bring. I beg of bring.
Maybe we can turn subtitles on.
Help.
I think we're not supposed to be able to understand this.
I am serious.
Siri?
Given up.
No.
There is one thing I can rescue.
Rescued.
So I think we need to turn the game sounds down a little bit more because I noticed my voice was kind of getting drowned out when we tested the sound. No, down at the bottom.
Well, yeah, I'm looking for subtitles.
Doesn't seem any quieter. Don't look at this.
What is that?
It's things that you don't need to know.
What? What do you mean? What is it?
You don't need to know.
What's wrong?
Okay, can we get out of this, please?
What is that?
It's talking about the different, like, areas you can go to, and it's...
Oh, really?
Stop!
Spoiler alert.
Dude!
That's all I saw. Some apostrophed word, dread nigh or something. No subtitles? Seriously?
Yes. There's not very much dialogue in the game.
Which is why it's important for it to be subtitled.
I'm sorry, I don't understand the logic there.
So you don't miss any. Call this age Channelwood. Blah, 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 blah.
It is a very different world, though it is exactly how I imagined it. It is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers the age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere there are only trees, which grow directly out of the water.
What is he chasing?
I don't know.
Oh, twist tie.
A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assumed they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about the land and its people, but I have arrived here late and I must rest.
Wait, there are supposed to be people here?
I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. The response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, suddenly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder.
What that said larder.
Climbing the larder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water, and can only be reached by rope larders that stretch from the lower pass to the village level. Approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. Wow, this is long. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor.
As was his custom.
In a thick brick throne?
Thick throne.
Thick throne? Really? Guards surrounded
This is his fucking journal. It's not gonna have the best prose. Come on.
the strong creature who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Yeah, well, the prose is shit, so... Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appeared human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply in an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise, this creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. They're going to want him to take its place. As I suspected, the ancient creature is a human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. Then why is he, chained up? They are treating me now in the same fashion.
Wait, how is he chained up?
He's, sitting on the floor by the throne, and,
Yeah, he was just sitting next to the leader.
I guess.
They're probably, lovers or something.
Okay, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. Yeah, it should, dude. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he has not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is but my best translation of what he has told.
Butt translation.
Yes. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. With the name tree dwellers, that's not surprising.
Okay.
The island was described...
I mean, this is what he called them. It's not like this is what they call themselves.
Mysterious rumblings which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time, then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day things changed. The rumblings began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. Humans lived through the catastrophe, moved into the trees where they gradually died out, maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. They couldn't have sex in the trees, so they couldn't reproduce?
They couldn't get food.
What? Why, if they're living with the tree dwellers, why can't the...
No, they didn't say they were living with the tree dwellers. They said just that they were living in the trees.
Well, that's kind of shitty of the tree dwellers not to provide for them after, they sacrifice themselves to stop the island.
The only reason they can move now is because of platforms. Those platforms might not have existed. Especially if this is just right after the catastrophe.
Maybe. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Okay, why do you assume that? Yet the old man believed in the truth of the story
Believes.
as if he had been there. And the tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and asleep. He then said, "We have expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of imminent dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. Then they kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes, walked out the door and off the narrow path. High in the trees, the tree dwellers were silent. Began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of walkway and carried it away. He was laid down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. The use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched the flames engulf him. As the strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green for as far as I can see now.
Well, yeah, they can't have rapidly changing colors. That would just be hard to animate.
Yes. For some reason, the water no longer shifts color. As I wandered through the pathways, the creatures watched me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway of the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon so that I may learn more from them. And suddenly it changes to blue.
That's purple.
I have lived on this world for 3 months, off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even beginning
Is this
to
a different writer? No,
learn. It's the same handwriting. I don't know.
And it's speaking as if it was the same.
Learn bits of their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Sirius and Akanar will react to its curious inhabitants.
Wait a minute. I called the guy Siri. Yeah, it must have been Sirius. And I'm guessing Akanar's the other guy?
The one that you can't understand what he's saying.
Blue pages!
Catherine is staying behind, as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy the age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers, and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmonian age. Sirius has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. The idea unsettles me. I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while. So I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect that the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warnings, and I have faith they will follow it.
My god, this is so long. Can't we have this, sparsed out?
I mean, we could.
There's, another fucking book after this.
Right. We'll go off and do other things. We won't start reading that book. My voice couldn't take it anyway. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Iverness.
Everdudes, come on!
I learned that Prawn and her people are contriving to be menaced.
Continuing! What is wrong with you?
Alcohol. Menaced by the Choctic.
The Catholics.
I,
The Choctic.
I feel...
Okay, I'm gonna read now.
Okay.
I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Sirius and Akinir here. See Everjune's journal for more information.
Let's not do that now.
After walking Sirius and Akinir, I see that they are handling things very well. I think I can put to rest my fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. For a little longer. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Sirius and Akinir are staying behind. I've been gone for over 3 days, and I have been to many different places. I had to tell Sirius and Akinir about Prawn's death today, and they were visibly shaken, although they only remember her from their childhood. Catherine suggested it would be wise for Sirius and Akinir to leave Channelwood for a while, and I had to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and travelled some ways out to the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk about their adventures. Reminded of my old adventures as a child. Finally, I understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colours. I've shown some of them to the creature in my journal. They laughed and howled, and I did not know they had such a sense of humour. Even now, as I look through this very colourful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, so I asked if they can visit some other ages alone. Although I have to think over their request, I believe that they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready to travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures. I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again.
Okay. Let's
so
not have any more of that for a while.
I'm guessing the Sirius and Akinir are evil. Because there's absolutely no way that these monkey creatures are actually rendered in the game. So I'm guessing they killed them all.
There actually are monkey creatures in later games.
I'm sure there are. Not this game, though! Oh, hey. This is a model of that boat. So maybe if I go back down to that boat, it'll tell me what things I need.
Or not.
Oh no, if I put in the right sequence, it'll lift the boat. I'm an idiot. So this was the tower rotator, I think? Nope. Does this have a day-night cycle?
Apparently. Actually, I vaguely recall now that the day-night cycle might actually matter, but I don't know for
What's
sure.
this?
Why can you not? So, yeah,
Come on! What the f... Whatever, apparently that one isn't working.
I think it needs to work, but... Alright, so we're about out of time, and I was thinking you could go get us some more alcohol. After we cut off this video.
What is that sound? Okay. I'm gonna push every button.
Okay, but we're out of time, so...
I'm guessing this is a puzzle where I have to get these two numbers right, and it's like pressure or electricity or some bullshit like that.
Time to cut the video off.
Bye!